excited that it's Friday. I don't even know what to do, family. I'm just ready to, I'm looking forward to the weekend. The weekend has started and ready to wind down, just kind of sit back, relax, and do nothing at all this weekend. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll continue to walk. This is day 16. For those of you that are, joining us, it is day 16. And you know the routine. I'm going to start up my treadmill here to get us rocking and rolling. And that's what I'm about to do. Start up the treadmill and hit start on this bad boy right now so that we can get started. So day 16 in, you're 16 days in, 15 more days to go. And today I'm going to speed it up a lot while we're talking because I got things to do, places to go. And I'm going to walk at the maximum of speed today. So I'm going to try to keep it going the whole entire time while walking fast and talk to you guys. But that's what I'm going to be doing today, walking fast and talking to you at the same time. So I'm at the maximum speed. I think on the other days when I was talking to you, a couple other days ago, I was at 3.6. I started out like really slow so I can kind of talk to you and get some information in to help you out. But I'm gonna pick it up a bit faster today because I got places to go. So how's the walk coming for everybody? I hope it's coming well. You got 15 more days to go and you're finished. You're absolutely done. You will be done. You would have made a big accomplishment as far as walking straight for 30 days, walking a 1 mile. I really appreciate you guys and applaud you for taking that step. And again, I know it's not a big effort for some people, but for some people it is. I just want to applaud you anyway, right? Good job. Keep pressing, keep moving. At the end, we'll see who wins the $50 gift card, whether it be Visa or Amazon. The choice is going to be the winner. So just keep moving, people. Keep moving. Yes. So again, I'm excited. It is Friday. And so I don't have big plans for this weekend. Like I told you guys yesterday, I'll probably go out to our festival in our area, walk around, won't be eating anything at all. That's going to be the hard part. Yesterday, I had some cravings where I really, really wanted some good food. And I had to turn the good food down because why? I'm on this 14-day green smoothie diet. So for the green smoothie, I got 9 more days to go. So I'm not going to be able to eat until May the 26th, which is on that Monday. That's on Memorial Day. That's when I'll be able to eat. And even on Memorial Day, I won't be able to eat a full meal because whenever you're coming off a juice fast with just liquids, right, you're going to have to kind of take it easy. So I'll be able to eat like really probably fruits that are not hard, like something really soft like watermelon, maybe some cantaloupes, maybe some mashed potatoes to some extent. But even with those mashed potatoes, I can't have any type of butter or anything like that because I don't want anything to upset my stomach when I come off of that fast. So I would expect to lose anywhere at a minimum, maybe 10 pounds minimum. But based on what I'm looking at so far, on the weight that I'm taking off my body, it's going to be more than that. So it'll definitely be more than that because I'm 5 days into the juice fast already, and I've already lost a significant amount of weight based on what I've been, walking and, doing the juice fast at the same time. Tell you again, I'm not asking you guys to do the juice fast. I'm an experiment for you. And once I finish with the experiment of this 14-day juice fast, I can share the information with you and you can make a determination with regards to whether you want to try to juice fast or not. So I encourage you, if you've never tried to juice fast, don't do it until you get some information on how to do it the correct way, right? That's going to be key. Because I've seen a lot of juice fasts out there and there's a lot of important information that goes into it. It's a lot of important information based on what I'm seeing. And I'll tell you, I haven't had a day where I've gotten sick or I've not had a headache, none whatsoever during the juice fast. And I have not been low energy during the juice fast. And the reason why that's occurred because I've been following the steps required to do a proper juice fast. Now, you will hear a lot of people out there that they'll kind of go into detail and tell you they're having headaches, and they're feeling low energy and fatigue. And there's a reason behind that. They're leaving out one top ingredient out of all their juice fasts. It's one top ingredient that you got to put in all of your juices. And you got to make sure that you're drinking the proper amount of juices per day. That's going to be key. You can't just do a juice fast and really don't know what you're doing. So that's why I'm experimenting for you guys to tell you exactly what you're going to need. Yeah, that's going to be key. So like I said, when I've been doing juicing since last year June, and I've been juicing and eating food, but this is the first time I'm juicing without eating food, period. And so, as you continue to talk to me daily or follow me daily on this marathon or challenge, right? I said marathon, but it's a challenge on the 31-day walk challenge for May. As you follow me, you'll start to see some of those pounds drop off with the conjunction of walking and doing a juice fast. So that's the key there. So with that being said, today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about doing things repetitively, right? Repetitiveness. So if you can't be in the mindset of continuously repeating a task and you get bored with it real fast and you stop, or if you don't see the results that you want, it's probably because you're doing something that you're not interested in. And normally when you're interested in something, you can continue to perform certain tasks over and over and over. If you have a passion for it, you'll continue to perform the task over and over and over. And I'll give you a prime example, right? So this 31-day mile challenge that we're doing, right? You have to have an interest in that. You're not going to do the challenge if you don't have an interest in it. You're not going to do the challenge if it doesn't hit a pain point where you feel like you have to do it. You're not going to do the challenge if you're not excited about it, right? It's just not going to happen. You'll do it for 1 to 5 days, or a couple of days, 1 to 6, maybe 1 to 15, however it may be. You're going to do it for a little while, but at some point you're going to fall off. And the reason why that happens is because you're not interested, you don't have a passion for it, or you lack desire, or you're just not motivated to really do it, right? And so for me to get up every day, right, to get on video and walk 2 miles a day, there's some kind of passion there, right? There's some motivation for me to prolong my health, right? There's some motivation for me to want to live a longer time, right? And so that's motivation. So that's why I can easily get up and do that. So for those that don't walk, right, and you don't have a desire to walk, you don't have an interest in walking, and you don't have a passion for it, and there's nothing that motivates you to do it, or there's not a thing that has like a tendency where if you don't walk, this will happen. If none of those things are in place, it's going to be hard for you to walk. And so that's the same thing with every aspect of your life, right? If there's nothing that's motivating you to take control of your finances, if there's nothing motivating you to take control of your health, if there's nothing motivating you to make more money, you're just not going to do it, right? And so the reason why, again, we started out with the walking challenge, to me, it seems easy, right? And I understand that to a lot of people out there, walking is not easy because you may have some health challenges or some ailments that's prohibiting you from walking, right? And I get that. I understand that, right? And so, but I wanted to pick something simple to help you build up a repetitive nature, to make something consecutive, right? Something that you could do consecutively for 30 to 31 days where you build up those habits. because those habits are what you're going to need to really tap into the finances, to really tap into your health. So it has to, that repetitive part is so key that it stops everyone from moving to the next level. It's one of the reasons why I see a lot of people that you hear a lot of people say they'll start a business, right? And you ask them, they'll get excited about it. They'll talk to you about the business. And 15 to 30 days later, you ask them, well, how the business is going? And they had an exciting tone in the beginning, right? But 15 to 30 days later, the tone has changed. And the reason why that tone has changed, they've lost the desire. They don't have the motivation to continue with that business that they started. They just don't. And the reason why they don't have that motivation, because they're doing something that they're not passionate about. They have no desire for it, right? So they stop. And this continuously happens, right? And so that's why I've been pausing to some extent on talking to a lot of people about finances, because I don't want you to drop off right now. I want to start small and see where you all are with the small thing of walking. So what I'm asking you to do as far as walking, it's small, right? And even if you don't do 1 mile, right? If you get out there and walk and you make it consecutive, then that tells me that you're going to build up the habit of being repetitive, right? You're going to build that habit up. It's going to be habit. And again, once it's in process for 30 to 31 days, it's habit. You've already built it up. And like I told you before, you're going to need it in the finances. You're going to start and you will drop off. You will drop off if you don't build that repetitive nature. And I want to make sure you guys are understanding that I'm not saying competitive with a C. I'm saying repetitive, repetitive. Just want to make sure I point that out. That's what we're trying to build up, for you to be repetitive, for you to continue to move on, to continue to keep going. That's what I want you to build up here. That's the whole goal. So that's what we want you to accomplish, my family. And I believe in you. I believe you can do it. The only thing that's stopping you from moving to the next level is you. No one else is stopping you. Trust me. No one else is stopping you. No one else can't stop you. They might try to stop you. They might try to hold you down, but they can't stop you. They cannot hold you down or stop you. It's going to be up to you to make that decision on where you want to be, where you want to go in life. That's up to you. But I'll tell you what, one of the things that you don't want to do, you don't want to be forced to take control of your finances. You don't want to be forced to take control of your health. And you may say, Tyrone, well, what are you talking about? How can people force me to take control of my health? How can people force me to take control of my finances? Well, let's start with health, right? So right now, by exercising, you're building up endurance for your body. You're making yourself healthy, right? You're possibly lowering your blood pressure, right? You're probably reducing the aspect of other ailments. That's what you're doing right now. But let's say you weren't exercising, you weren't walking, you were not doing anything. You were just eating a lot, sitting on the couch, watching TV. Then at some point, you start to develop high blood pressure. At some point, you start to develop diabetes. At some point, you start having certain ailments from within your body that you have to start taking medication. And now the medication that you're taking is taking money out of your pocket. You have no money because all the money that you're spending is in medication, and you're spending all your money going into the doctor, and you're spending all your money dealing with stress. All of this is happening because you choose not to exercise, right? And if you choose not to do that, now that's going to affect you. But now you're to the extent where you're on all this medication, you're always going to the doctor, and you have all these ailments. Now you're forced to take control of your health. Because see, before, if you were proactive, right, None of this would have ever happened to you none of it would have ever happened if you were exercising and taking better control of your body. But because you're reactive, your reaction is, you know what? All these things are happening to me. I better do something about it. And see, that's what I don't want that to happen to you, because that's the expensive route. Whenever you are reactive, you're going to spend more money. You have to be proactive. So that was the health illustration that I gave you, right? That was the health illustration that I gave you. So let's transition into the financial illustration. So financial illustration is that, let's say you went off to college, and I'm going to use myself as an example for this, right? This would be a good example. So a lot of us go off to college, right? And we get those credit cards, and we get those first credit card offers, and they give out, well, I think back then it was like $1,000. It might be more now. They give you $1,000 credit card, and they know you don't have a job, right? I remember I was at school, and I went to my mailbox, checked the mailbox to get a credit card offer, and I went back, I think it was somewhere in the library, and I had to get something done. I don't remember if it was a copy of an ID or what it was. And one of my professors was in there, and she saw what I was doing. And she said, "Tyrone, you don't want to get that credit card." And I was like, well, why is she saying that? She said, "Tyrone, you don't want to get that credit card. That'll be the worst mistake of your life." And see, she knew as a young man that I wasn't ready for that. I was not mature enough to handle that credit card. So I got the credit card anyway. And I took the money on that credit card and spent money on frivolous stuff. Think about it. You give a 19-year-old credit card, they're in college, right? And they have no sense of sort of like financial instincts or financial knowledge at a given point in time. I know I didn't. Now, a lot of kids understand, a lot of kids are mature, and a lot of kids might have been mature during my time, but I wasn't. I can tell you that now. And so I took that money and just blew it on stupid stuff. And concert tickets, clothes, you name it, I did it, right? But when it came time to pay the bill, I paid the bills for a while. And at some point, I didn't pay the bills, and the card closed. And that card hurt me for a long time, very long time. And it impacted my credit. But I was able to get my credit cleaned up and get it taken care of, resolved, move forward, and started looking for my first home when I was 24. And I started looking when I was 24 and closed on the home at 25. And the reason why I didn't close at 24, because the house was in the process of being built. So by the time the house was built and I closed on it, I was 25 years old, right? And so that situation was where I was reactive, right? And what do I mean by reactive? See, if I hadn't taken those credit card offers in the beginning, knowing I didn't have a job as a college student, right? Knowing I didn't really have a job, had summer jobs, but not really like a real job where I worked consistently and it was going to college, right? And so proactiveness would have been to, like my professor said, don't get the credit card, Tyrone. That would have been a proactive measure. Proactiveness would have been Tyrone study and understand finances before he get a credit card. That would have been a proactive measure. Proactiveness would have been Tyrone, save your money, build a big savings account so you won't have to depend on credit, none whatsoever. And then when you do have the credit, you just have it just in case you need it, right? So it was better to need it and have it don't need it. So that would have been the proactive measures to put in place. So I didn't do that. So that's what I mean by you have to be proactive, guys. So right now, if you're in a situation where, let's say, where your credit is not good and you want to accomplish a goal, a purchase in a home, and you got to get your credit straight, now you're going to be reactive because there were some measures that you had took in your from a historical perspective that you didn't do when you should have been proactive. Now you got to be reactive, fix your credit, and get your credit straight. Now you're going to try to purchase a home. That's reactive. The proactive measures would have been if you already established your credit, build it, it's good, then you go purchase a house, that would have been proactive. And so I use myself as the illustration. I was reactive. And you never want to be reactive when it comes down to finances. You always want to be proactive. It is imperative that you be proactive. And so my history with starting out as a college kid with finances taught me the fundamental principles and lessons to move forward and institute savings aspects, put in principles to safeguard my family, get the necessary life insurance to protect me and my family. That's proactive, right? These are proactive measures. These are things that you got to put in place. Building a business so I can lead to my family, those are proactive measures, right? Those are proactive. And so you build the reason why you want to, at some point, I'm not saying that everyone's cut off for business, and I'm not going to be talking about business on this channel to the extent or the degree that other people would. I'm not going to do it. If I talk about business at any sense, it's going to be on a minimum level to ensure that you guys get the fundamental principles and understandings of some things. But our channel is not a business channel. I have a whole nother channel for that, and I'm not going to talk about it here for the simple fact that this is a personal channel, and this is why this channel was created. Because I want to elevate and help people get up to a certain level of finances in their lives where they have a desire or interest in business, they can move on to the other channel. But here, we're only going to be focused on personal. But that's the key, guys. Being proactive and not reactive. That's going to be key. And it's going to be imperative for you to be proactive for your kids. And I'm going to give you a prime example of what I'm talking about there. See, when you're proactive with building finances for your kids, when you have good credit, you can pass that down to your kids. You can say, well, Tyrone, what do you mean you can pass good credit down to your kids? See, if you have good credit, right, you can start to build your kids' credit at an early age. And what do I mean by that? See, my kids, the last two kids, right, in middle school, what I started to do is add them to my credit cards. Now, the first two, I didn't have this wealth of wisdom and knowledge. The last two, I have this wealth and wisdom and knowledge. So I added them to my credit cards at an early age. Now, I didn't let them spend or use the credit cards in middle school. I was building their confidence and building their level of understanding before I even gave them a credit card. But I added them to my credit cards to start building their credit. So the data for my scores, the data from the usage of my cards started to report on their credit. So since I had good usage and managing the card really well, it reported to their credit. And see, this is what I'm talking about, being proactive. So that when your kids finish high school or college, they already have an established credit profile. And you may be saying, well, Tyrone, how can you add a kid, middle schooler, to a credit card? How can you do that? That can't be right. And I will refute that, because when you add your people to a credit card, they don't ask you nothing about an age. They don't. You can tell any credit card holder out there, you can ask any credit card holder out there. Now, when you add family members to your credit card, they don't ask you for age. Now, fast forward, things might have changed, but I know when I added my kids, they didn't ask for an age. They don't ask for age at none whatsoever. So that's just the things that you have to be aware of. That's the proactive part, right? So that's building your family legacy. Because, a lot of us grew up and there was no one adding us to credit cards. I can speak for myself. I wasn't being added to no one's credit card to build credit. If you see me looking at the treadmill, just trying to get an idea of where I am in terms of walking. Oh, 0.40 left. Okay. Yeah, so that's why you gotta be proactive. That's why we want you to be proactive in your finances. It's important that you be proactive. So if your kid wanna buy a house out of high school or college, you've already helped them build the credit to get that. So let that be your motivation on the financial part. That should be motivation by itself. That because you have built your credit to the extent that you have credit cards, and now you can add your kids on the credit card and build their credit because your wise use of the credit card, and your kids are having their scores built off of what mom and dad is doing by managing their credit. The kid has an upper hand, an advantage in life. That's what you want to position for your kids. And forgive me for getting passionate about this, but I am absolutely passionate about this aspect. And I promise you, I'm not going to fall down. I'm just getting excited right now talking about this and walking at this high speed. But that's what you should aim for. It just hit me. It just hit me. You should be motivated and passionate to build your credit, if your credit is not good, to manage your finances so you can set your kids up to get to the next level. Like if you setting your kid up and building their credit and ensuring that they have good credit when they get out of high school, that puts your kid in another position. That sets them up for success, guys. And you teaching them that not only that mom and dad is now knowledgeable about finances, that they can pass that information down to their kid. So if your credit is not good right now, you can start working on that. You can fix that. You can absolutely fix that. And your kid is your motivation because you want your kid to be added to your credit card so you can start to build their credit. Now, I'm not saying you have to give your kid the credit card right now. You don't have to give it to them. You don't give them anything until you see that they're able to manage money. They're able to manage finances, and they're able to save money. That's when you give it to them. If you give it to them too early, it's going to mess them up. And guess what? You can take the kids off the credit card at any time. You can take them off at any time. That's not a problem. The same way you call and added them on, you can call and take them off, right? So that's going to be key, and that's going to be important for you to do that. And I'm looking down again just to see how much time I got left with you. We're at 0.20. 0.20, and it's clocking down. So yeah, I've been walking really fast today. At 4, I think that's like 4 miles. I think that's 4 miles on my treadmill. So yeah, I'm just excited and passionate about this next level. I dropped my water. Passionate about this next level that you're about to go to in your life. The next level that you're about to set up for your kids, that legacy that you're about to build for your kids, that foundation that you're about to build, that generational wealth that you're about to leave to your kids. It all starts now, family. It all starts now, and I'm excited for you. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, that information that I shared right now, that was valuable. Many people know it, right? I get many people may know that, but a lot of people don't know it. A lot of people didn't know that they can add their kids to their credit card. They didn't know it. And here's the thing. When I added my kids to the credit card, I didn't say, Mr. Credit Card Company, can I add my kid? I didn't do that. I called them up. I said, hey, I'm adding so-and-so to my credit card. Or I went online for some of them and just added them to my credit card. I just added them. That's all I did. I didn't ask for permission. It's my card. Yes, I understand they gave me the card, but my mentality is I wasn't asking you to add the kids. I was going to add them. And all you can do is tell me I couldn't do it, or I could. And I didn't get a rejection from anyone. I didn't get a rejection. So you just add the kids to the credit card. But the kids, make sure before you add the kids, make sure you're responsible and managing that credit card. You don't have a high credit card usage. That it remains, I would say keep it under 10%, so you can keep their credit scores reporting high. I mean, you can go up to maybe 20. I'm not gonna tell you the next number, but yeah, I would say 20 and under. But I would say definitely at 10, but don't go no higher than 20% of that credit card usage. And then you add your kids. Because if you add your kids and you don't manage it well, you're gonna mess the kids' credit up, and that's not what you want. So with that being said, family, I hope that you were able to take some information today for what you learned, apply it to your life, make your financial situation better, make your health better. I know it sounds like I'm out of breath, and I am, and the treadmill is stopping. The treadmill is stopping, and I am at a full sweat. But yeah, family, I want you to use this information to empower yourself, empower your family. I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy it. And I'll be back here again tomorrow morning on Saturday for day 17. So today is day 16. We're moving and getting a phone call. Sorry about that. We're moving and I'm looking forward to it. The best is yet to go. The best is yet to come, family. Happy Friday, and I hope you enjoy.